Let's assume that you want $50,000 a year in dividend cash flow income passively. That's $4,167 hitting your bank account every month that you can use to pay your bills, to go on vacation, and buy you some nice extra guac. So how do you go about actually doing this? Starting with the basics, you need to have some extra money that you can put aside to invest, because the whole idea behind dividend investing is you're investing money, and that means you have to have money that's extra that you are not spending already. So you take your extra money and then you're going to put this money into your investments. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. A simple rule of thumb that you can start with is something like a 75-15-10 plan, which says for every dollar that you earn from here on out, 75 cents is the maximum that you can spend, 15 cents is the minimum that you're investing, 10 cents is the minimum that you're saving. This way you always have money to save and invest, and so you don't spend all of your money. And now you take this money that you're putting aside for your investments into a fund or a stock that's paying you with cash flow every 3 months. That way you can work to achieve this dividend lifestyle. Now at this point you might be wondering, why would a company pay out this dividend in the first place? I'll just give you an example. In 2024, McDonald's had about $14 billion of profit. This was extra money in their bank account after paying for all their expenses, paying for all their employees, paying for all their burgers. Now, when they have this extra $14 billion in their bank account, there's 3 things that they can do with this money. They can save some of this money for an emergency, which they did. They can reinvest some of this money back into the company to create new burgers, to create new food, to create new whatever, and they did. And then they can just give away some of the money, which they also did. In 2024, McDonald's allocated a little bit more than $5 billion in dividends. That means they took a little bit more than $5 billion and just gave it away to their owners. Who are their owners? It's the investors who own a piece of McDonald's. So anybody who owned a share of McDonald's got a piece of this dividend payout. This is money that you get for doing nothing except owning a stock that's paying out this dividend. The nice thing about dividend investing, unlike real estate, is you don't need a ton of money to start. I mean, you can start investing in dividends with as little as $100. And if you do it correctly, the goal is to hopefully see the value of your shares go up and also see an increase in the dividends that you get paid out year after year after year. So how do you actually achieve the dividend lifestyle? Well, you can invest in individual stocks that pay out dividends, which I'm going to show you, or you can invest in funds, which is like a basket of dividend paying companies, which I'm going to show you as well. Let me start by talking about some individual companies, but first, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will lose money at some point. So make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. Everything that I'm talking about is for example purposes only, to get you to start thinking like an investor. I'm not here to tell you what to invest in. Right now, at the time of me recording this video, McDonald's is paying out a dividend of 2.3%. AT&T is paying out a dividend of 4%, Verizon is paying out a dividend of 6%, Pfizer is paying out a dividend of 6.5%, and Google is paying out a dividend of 0.5%, which means if you were to invest your money into any of these stocks today, and your goal is to get this $50,000 a year in cash flow from dividends passively, well, you're going to have to invest a lot of money today to achieve these goals. Let me show you what that means, and then I'm going to show you how you can make it happen sooner than you might think. You would have to invest $2.2 million into the McDonald's stock today at today's dividend yield to start generating $50,000 a year today. AT&T is paying out a bigger dividend, so you'd have to invest $1.2 million. Verizon is paying out an even bigger dividend yield, so you'd have to invest $835,000. Pfizer is paying out an even bigger dividend yield, so you'd have to invest $770,000, and Google is paying out a much smaller dividend, 0.5%, so you'd have to invest $10 million to be able to see that $50,000 a year. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is to make a point. Not every company is going to pay out a dividend, and you have to remember why companies pay out dividends in the first place. Because companies pay out this dividend when they have extra cash that they don't know what to do with it. And when they have that extra cash, they can just give it away. So when a company is focused on growth and scale and really trying to achieve as much market share as possible, they don't want to pay out dividends, because that means that's money that they can't use to reinvest back in their company. That's money that they can't use to hire more employees. That's money that they can't use to invest in research. So when companies are focused on the hyper growth and the scale, they don't want to pay dividends. For example, Amazon was a publicly traded company for years that was not profitable. Their goal was not to make big profits so they could pay out big dividends. Their goal for many, many, many years was to invest all their money and then some with the help of debt and venture capital and other investors' money. That way they could grow as big as possible, as fast as possible, because they wanted to see their share price explode, which is what we saw happen. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. When we talk about investing for dividends, it's a different analysis. Now, what you're looking for is not that explosion in stock price. You're looking for steady profits that companies can keep paying out and hopefully keep increasing, because that's how you get paid your dividend. Now, the reason why so many people fail at dividend investing is because they look at these numbers and they get overwhelmed. You say, oh my God, I need so much money to be able to live this dividend lifestyle. It's going to be impossible. What's the point of me even starting, because I don't have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. It's too much work. And that's the wrong way to look at this, because the way you want to look at this isn't that you need to invest all this money today. You're building a machine. You're building out a machine that prints your money every 3 months. That's what dividend investing is. And you don't have to start with a ton of money today. The way you start is by putting a little bit of money in today. And then you put a little bit more money in tomorrow and the day after that. And every time you put some more money in, it spits out more money to you. And every time you get this money spit out, you take that money that you're getting and reinvest it. So you just keep putting more money in. When you get a pay raise, you put more money in. When you can save some extra money, you put some more money in. And every time you invest $1, you're buying a little bit of this machine that keeps printing you more money. And every time you get some more money, you keep reinvesting it. This is a long-term game. And if you stick with it, the results can be kind of crazy. You can start with a little bit and keep adding to it slowly. The second thing you need to understand is the risk. You can look at all of your options here and say, you know what, I want to invest for cash flow, so I'm going to invest all my money into Pfizer. But the problem with that is if you don't keep up with the company and now you have all of your money here, if Pfizer were to go bankrupt, not only do you lose all of your dividend income, but you also lose all the money that you invested. This is why it's so important to understand risk, because there are ways to mitigate this risk as well, which I'm about to show you. By the way, if you're interested in stuff like this, I created a free newsletter called Market Briefs, where every day my team at Briefs Media publishes a free newsletter that's breaking down what's happening in things like the economy and the stock market and the housing market, the crypto market, and the global economy into a fun, witty, and free newsletter. It's read by hundreds of thousands of investors every single day, and it's completely free. So if you haven't joined Market Briefs yet, I have the link for you to join down in the description below. The way you can lower some of your risk is obviously by doing your research, keeping up with the company and reading the financial statements and listening to the earnings calls, or number 2, investing into funds. A fund is a basket of stocks. So you're investing into a group of dividend paying companies as opposed to just one, because if you invest in one of these companies and the company you invested in goes bankrupt, you lose everything. You lose your dividend income and you lose the money that you invested. But if you invest your money into a fund which has dozens or hundreds or thousands of companies and one of the stocks goes bankrupt, well, you're okay because it's balanced out by some of the winners. So it requires less work and less upkeep because now you're just investing in a fund, and this fund is essentially self-managing. It's managing itself, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna go over a few examples. Again, I'm not telling you what to invest in. These are just examples. One example is SCHD, which is currently paying out a yield of 3.5%. As a disclaimer, I'm personally invested in SCHD, and this is a fund created by Charles Schwab that invests in high dividend paying companies inside of the United States. So it has a broad basket of dividend companies in the US. The other is NOBL, Noble. This is an ETF, a fund that invests in dividend-paying S&P 500 companies. That means this only invests in dividend-paying companies that are a part of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a basket of the 500 largest companies in the stock market. This only looks at those companies, but then it takes it one layer deeper. It only invests in the companies that have increased their dividend every year for at least the last 25 years. So if a company is in the S&P 500 and they've only increased their dividend for the last 5 years, they're not going to be a part of this ETF. So you can see it's pretty strict. And then the third is VYMI. This is a fund created by Vanguard, another large, very well-known institution that invests in high dividend paying companies internationally, not in the United States. And so when you're international, you have a little bit more risk, more potential return, where you're investing in companies that could potentially see upside because their country is growing, their economy is growing, and they could potentially pay out higher dividends. It's not for sure because it's higher risk, but that's where the opportunity is there. Again, this is something that I'm personally invested in as well. That's why the asterisk is there. SCHD at the time we're recording this video is paying out 3.5% a year. NOBL is paying out 2%, and VYMI is paying out 4.5%, which means if you wanted to achieve the $50,000 a year today, then you would have to invest $1.4 million into SCHD, $2.5 million into NOBL, and $1.1 million into VYMI. But again, that's not the game. The game is not to have $1 million or hundreds of thousands of dollars to start with today. It's to start small. Start with $100 today, and then $100 next week or next month, whatever you can. Small increments. Remember, every time you invest $1, you're buying a machine that prints out some money back at you. You get paid every 3 months, and you keep consistently investing your money. Every time you get paid, you invest some money. When you get paid more money, you invest more money, and then when you get those dividends, you keep reinvesting them. That way you keep building a larger and larger snowball that keeps spitting out more money at you. And then once you start to see that dividend lifestyle, well, now you can start using that dividends to live off of. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.